Awesome. Now, we are on the home stretch, everyone. So let's get up and stretch. Everyone stand up. You know those stretches we learnt at the physio? That was so good. That one, I love that one. Do that, whatever your body needs. Move around, twist, just like get it moving. Awesome. And if you feel like you give the person next to you a high five and say, "We've done it, this is awesome." Yes. All right, high fives, yes. You've done it, yes. All right. So I'm all about just ask, just do, be you. It actually originally was just you, but I realised it can't just be you. You need people around you to make things happen. And I'll explain all this stuff means. But basically, how's everyone been feeling about this conference? Hands up if you enjoyed yourself and you met amazing people and you've got something you want to take away that you've learnt. Yes, great. Well, did you know that 80% of people who leave a conference never do the stuff? And did you know 69% of statistics are completely made up? That one and the last one. I actually have no idea what the stat is. I did a bit of a Google search. I don't think it actually exists. I do know it's high though, because right now you're all feeling so pumped, right? You're just like this chick. So yes, this is great. I've got pages of notes. I'm overflowing with knowledge. I've got this. This year's going to be amazing. But what happens when you get home tonight? You crash. What happens when Monday morning rolls around and you're back to packing the school lunches, getting the kids out the door, getting yourself, you're back into the daily grind? What happens then? All this can be forgotten. So I want you to decide, because I've had this responsibility now to close off this conference, apart from Andrea, to make sure this does not happen to you. Let's not make that happen. Let's actually take action. Now, before I proceed, who is this? You know, Brene Brown, Oprah want to be up here on stage. I am Leanne Shelton. I am not a life coach. I'm not a business coach. I actually split my time between growing a copywriting agency, so writing the copy for websites, blogs, you name it, and content marketing training, so helping people DIY with the blogs, with the setting up their webinars, podcasts, all that fun stuff. So I have a podcast myself, Marketing and Me. Come check it out. If you're inspired, this is kind of the energy of my podcast. But you know what? I could stand up here and talk to you about all copywriting and content marketing stuff, but it means absolutely nothing if you don't have the right mindset. And same for all the stuff you've learnt. It means nothing if you don't have the right mind on. So I personally have been through my own mindset journey over about 14 years worth of reading lots of self and business development books, podcasts, all the rest of it, because you wouldn't know it from the person standing here on stage today, but when I was younger, I had very low self-esteem. And I think it comes from my dad, who nicknamed Grumble Bums, because he would always be complaining about something in life. Love you, Dad. But see, I naturally felt that if things were going too well for too long, I was overdue for something to go wrong. And that's honestly how I felt, even as a kid. And so I soon learnt about 14 years ago about law of attraction. I'm sure many of the people here in the room, it's actually very mainstream these days, about being in the driver's seat. And I don't have to be the passenger and let life just drive me around wherever it takes me. I can choose to live the life of my dreams. So I want you all to leave here today ready to take action and start working towards that life of your dreams. So 6 little words I have for you to remember. Just ask, just do, be you. And I'll go through those. These came to me actually while on a morning run, and they're going to be the basis of my book that I will be writing. So just ask, what do you actually want? Can anyone honestly answer that question? What do you honestly want? Yeah. We don't ask ourselves that, but you need to know to get to where you want to be. To be able to get support, they're going to ask you, oh, what are your goals? You need to ask yourself that. So do you know what you want to achieve by the end of this year? Are you clear on what you want to do in 3 years, where you want to be? Or how about 5 years? Not everyone has that clear vision. And I'm doing a fun little visualization activity now to help you paint that picture, because ultimately you need to immerse yourself in that whole thing about where you want to be. Because it's one thing to have pie in the sky, it's very different to actually live it. So I invite you all to now close your eyes, get yourself comfortable, and take 3 deep breaths. And I want you to imagine it's the morning of the 31st of December, 2022. Imagine yourself in a place that makes you feel calm and happy, and ensure it's really clear in your mind's eye. It could be a place you know well or someplace new. So what can you smell? What can you hear? And what can you touch? You feel a smile spread across your face as you start to reflect upon your amazing achievements from the past 12 months. And you begin by thinking about your career and the opportunities that arose throughout the year. How did you step outside of your comfort zone? Did you pivot, sorry to use that word, in some shape or form? And what new things did you try? And think about how those achievements make you feel. Now think about love and your relationships and partnerships. What memorable experiences did you share with your loved ones? How did your relationships develop among team members and other business owners? Now think of a word you would use to describe how you feel in this moment. Next, I want you to start upon your wealth and prosperity from the year. What type of places did you travel to? What big purchases or investments did you make? And now I want you to imagine picking up your phone, logging into your business bank account, and seeing how much money appears on the screen. It's a substantial amount that fills you with so much gratitude. I want you to see that number, see how much is there, and think about what that money will do for you, your business, and loved ones in 2023 and beyond. I want you to feel that gratitude and appreciation for that money flow through your body, because you know without a doubt that you deserve it. And you know money will continue flowing into your life from here. Now I want you to start thinking about your health and wellness. You made it a key part of your life this year. What did you achieve? How did you keep active? And what type of diet did you have? Imagine placing your hands on your heart, taking a deep breath, and feeling gratitude for the great state of health you're currently feeling. You've never felt better. Your mind then wanders to the way you helped others this past year. Who did you support in 2022? What were their pain points and concerns? And how did you help them? And think about how these memories make you feel right now. You begin to think about the creativity and joy in your life. What hobbies did you pursue? How did you express your creativity or find joy this past year? See yourself doing it. And now think about the knowledge you've acquired. What type of self and business development did you undertake? Did you attend courses, read books, listen to podcasts, go to conferences like this? Let yourself feel gratitude for the growth you've experienced as a result. And finally, you begin to think about your reputation. How did you show up this past year and present yourself to the world? Which channels did you use? And what type of feedback or words of encouragement did you receive from others? And meditation's coming to an end, but before we finish, I want you to think about how you have grown as a person and business owner over this past year. What's the difference between where you were in February 2022 and where you are today in December 2022? Once again, feel the gratitude flood your body. It's been a wonderful year. And now as you come back to the present day, I want you to carry that gratitude with you. You can start to wriggle your fingers and toes and stretch if you need to, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. How was that, everyone? Is that good? Awesome. I'll take you a moment to Zen. I want you right now, while that's all fresh in your mind, write down what came to you. Dot points, whatever it is, just write it. If you want to draw a picture, what came to you during that visualization? Because this is ultimately going to drive your goals, your actions for the rest of the year. You've already achieved it. Think of it like that. Just give you another 20 seconds, jot something down. Okay, so you can add to that later because hopefully you really felt it, you lived it, and you can easily reflect on that afterwards. And obviously after Andrea's finished, you won't have anyone else to talk, so you have time to flesh this out before you leave this conference. Make sure you do. Now I know at the beginning you said that everyone had at least something that they've learnt, probably more than one thing. I know just this afternoon, like Marjorie brought up, about organisation charts, which I'm going to get onto doing that. Or Beck, I'm going to actually get gifts out to clients, not just at Christmas. I'm going to make that thing. Or even the one-page business plan with Anil just spoke. So I want you to have a think right now and maybe just talk with the person next to you. What's one thing? Let's just commit to one thing that really stood out that you're going to take away. I want you to decide right now. Can be 2 if you want. I'll be kind. Or 3. But just, don't want to overwhelm you, so just pick something. And I want you, when you're thinking about that thing, remember that visualization. It needs to tie into where you want to be at the end of the year. Everyone's clear on something they want to take away? Yep. Fantastic. So that was the first step of the just ask, asking yourself. And I asked you a lot of questions during that visualization. And some of those things probably came really easily to you because you probably thought about it before. But there's probably other questions I asked you, maybe about hobbies, and you're like, what? I don't have time for hobbies. That actually made you think about it. The next step is to ask others. So, with that conference-inspired action or 2 or 5 or whatever you got, do you need to seek mentorship or advice from someone else to make it happen? Do you need to have a follow-up chat with one of the speakers who are on stage? Or do you know someone else in your world who can help you make it happen? Or do you have to ask someone to action it on your behalf? Outsourcing. Because I know we talked about that yesterday. We all like to do all the things. Is there someone you can ask to manage it because they have the time, the skills, the knowledge, and it's just better to hand over? Or do you need to ask someone to keep you accountable to actually make sure it gets done? We are going to talk about that at the end. So maybe the person next to you can be your accountability buddy. Because we want to make sure it happens. Or do you need to jump out of your comfort zone and ask someone for a new opportunity? So like just my own example, the reason I'm here on this stage is at end of 2019, an email came through from City of Parramatta with all these workshops. And I had this moment of thinking, I'm just going to ask if they want any speakers for 2020. It was for workshops, but that year kind of fizzled. But I have done over 30 hours worth of webinars the last 2 years for City of Parramatta. And then I also helped them set up a podcast, which I believe is in the works. And then I was asked, hey, would you like to speak at the Altitude Conference? So just from asking one question 2 years ago led to this whirlwind of events. And actually Marjorie also, she just asked me, hey, how do I connect to City of Parramatta? And she's also benefited now. So just asking the first thing. Now you need to just do it, okay? You're all inspired, you've asked the questions, you've got the knowledge flowing. You know what you want to do, now you have to do it. Who here procrastinates? Yes. Okay, why do we do it? Anyone know? Fear. Hey, you read my next slide. Fear. Fear of the unknown. What happens next? What if I do it? What if I fail? Hey, failures, learnings. Change that. So, if anyone's a fan of The Greatest Showman, I love it. P.T. Barnum, comfort is the enemy of progress. If you just stay in your little bubble, yes, you may be comfortable, but your dreams are outside your bubble. So you need to step out and make it happen. So move beyond that fear. So, imposter syndrome has come up. Mia brought it up. I think it's come up in a couple of talks. When you doubt your abilities and think you're a fraud. And I have a little analogy, personification of this whole thing to say treat her like she's your best friend. Whoops, go back. You need to be friends with her rather than resist her or manage her or fight her. Because you know what? When these questions come up, when the slide wants to work. Yep, there we go. Don't have time for this, you don't have the smart skills for this, how the hell are you going to do it? Don't worry about the how seems to work out. Why should anyone listen to me? When all that comes out, that's just like a best friend, just with your best interests at heart. She just doesn't want you to get hurt. That's all it is. She wants to keep you in your little bubble over here because you're comfortable here. Let's get out. So you have a choice. You can choose when those little thoughts of doubt, those seeds of doubt fill your brain, do you let her keep you over here and hold you back from what you want to do and listen to what she has to say? Go, yeah, right. Or do you push past the fear and live the life of your dreams? And I want you to do the latter, obviously. So what I want you to do is give her a hug, all right? Nurture the imposter within. Say to her, all right, H, whoops, hear what she has to say. It's going to work. There we go, whoops. Hear what she has to say. What are the actual words coming to you? What triggers? What is it? Skills at the time? What are the actual words that are popping into your head? And then I want you to understand, where did those thoughts come from? Did they originally come from your childhood, from a parent who told you you weren't good enough, or a teacher who said, oh, you'll never amount to anything? Or is it your own stories you've made up in your own head? Just understand the source of it. And then I want you to do the G. Go do it anyway. Anyone familiar with Susan Jeffers? Feel the fear and go do it anyway. 100%. Just push past it and go, look, 100%. Sometimes you'll feel that doubt, and if your intuition, it honestly doesn't feel like the right thing, listen to your intuition. But if you know it's only because it's scary and you've never done it, just push past it. Because you know what? When you do go and do it anyway, you get hugs, plural. And the S, anyone want to guess what it stands for? Actually, it's silence. Because she'll shut up because you've done it. She can't say anything else. So she will pop up it's like she's saying, oh okay, I'll shut up now. All right, you do what you want, whatever. She will show up again though. So you have to keep showing up. So you just keep showing up, repeat the process, hear her, understand her, and no, this is still feeling right, I'm going to go do it anyway. Now, anyone familiar with this book, Atomic Habits, James Clear? Yep. So there's one thing to, just say you're going to go do it. I loved one of these things he talks about. It's habit stacking and actually making it happen. Neil was just saying before about, breaking into little things. So if you say, all right, I want to improve my social media posts, I want to actually do them. So maybe your habit is you always sit down at your computer at whatever time in the morning, you turn it on, maybe check your emails, maybe instead of that, you spend half an hour working your socials. I started a little habit, I wanted to keep a little digital gratitude journal thing on my phone. So before I plug my phone in, the other side of the room, turn it off, all the energy, don't have the vibrations of, technology. So I sit and I do my little gratitude. And I've done it every single day this year because I connected that to my habit. So that is one great way that you can actually make these things happen. But I want you now to think about that conference inspired action, and how are you going to make it happen? Are you going to break it into little daily things? Is it a monthly thing? Do you have to ask someone to keep you accountable? Do you have to now, your very first thing is to book a phone call in with someone to get advice? Have a think now what you need to do to make it actually happen. The very first step when you leave this room or you get home. And jot that down. Another thing that James Clear says is about making change attractive and easy. Because when something feels too hard and not fun, you're not going to do it. So make it fun, whether it's something you love, or tap it onto something you love. Okay, for example, I have to do the dishes. It just seems to be my thing. Well, last time it's being handled by my husband. So I listen to podcasts and I'll listen to trainings. And so that's how I get through one thing I don't really like and I get inspired at the same time. And then you remember to reward yourself. So that could be something as well. When I've done this, I will spoil myself with that thing. All right, we're up to be you. So, who has been inspired by the people who they've seen speak at this conference? Yes. Or who's just been inspired by anyone ever on YouTube or podcast or whatever? That's great to be inspired, but they are not you. They have different backgrounds to you. They have different experiences to you. They have different family situations, different financial situation. So you cannot compare yourself to them and try to replicate 100% what they do. You can't copy their recipe for success and fall into the trap of comparisonitis. And you can't watch their show reel, I know that's come up as well, on social media and think, oh, I could never amount to that, look what they're doing. You have no idea what's happening behind the scenes, unless you're someone like Mia, who does show it very visually. So you have no idea. And just remember, it takes years to become an overnight success. So you just keep plodding along. I have, role models, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're making so much money, they're doing great. Oh, hang on, they're 10 years ahead of me. So I've got time. Run your own race or just walk your marathon. So have a think now, how are you going to put your personal spin onto your conference-inspired action? Yes, you're inspired. Maybe it was all about videos. You're like, I'm not really a video person. Maybe it's about, planning stuff. You're like, I don't really plan that much in advance, but how can I turn a plan into something that I know I'll do and follow? Maybe it's, setting yourself audio messages, or I don't know. Have a think now, how you're going to put your own personal spin on it. And I also want to remind you, BU is part of, self-care comes under that as well. So there's one thing to just, the hustle, I actually hate that word, work really, really hard and all hours of the day and, burn out, but you've got your goal, you're successful, but you're burnt out. So what's the point? Because the whole putting your own oxygen mask on first. you can't serve other people unless you take care of yourself. So you can read a book. You don't have to do like the facials and massages. All of those are nice. Get them occasionally. Don't feel like it has to be a financial investment into your self-care. Just even getting some fresh air, spending time with your family, doing some yoga, spending some time just to dream, just a daydream, or turn off your devices. That is all part of it. And I also want you to focus on your inner and outer dialogue. Your inner dialogue, that imposter syndrome's coming up, the negativity, go cancel or stop, replace it with a positive thought. No, I can't do this. No, I can do this. Move on. And the outer dialogue, like what Brenda was saying yesterday, stop saying sorry. Don't apologise for being here. Don't apologise for anything. You deserve your own time and space. No one is above you. Yep, there we go, back one. There we go. Because you deserve to be successful, whatever that definition is. It's different for everyone. And you deserve to live an amazing life, but it's up to you to make it happen. And you know what, we were talking yesterday about whys, and I've always thought about, what's my why? Put money in food on the table, help support the family, help my 2 kids, do all the extracurricular stuff they want without worrying about the finances. But you know what it also is? Because I've been through this self-discovery journey, I see so much negativity in the world and so much mediocrity, and I want to help other people achieve positivity and an awesome life. That's ultimately what I want to do. Whether it's through the copywriting, helping them get the right words to connect with their clients, or it's through training them and get those aha moments. That's ultimately what I want to do. And so I want to know who's ready to take action from the conference. Who's not going to become one of the 80%? 80%. Yes, that's a statistic. I want you to actually read notes. Maybe one of your actions is to read your notes. I know, I'm also often guilty of that myself. And I've set up this little accountability group for the conference where you can, I hope the QR code works, otherwise I've got the bit.ly. We can all connect and share our action items and keep each other accountable. So I'd love you to connect with that. It's also a great way to, just all mingle again. I'll keep it up as a pop-up Facebook group for like a month or so, just to keep each other accountable. And hey, if it spins off from that, you find one person who's doing something similar to you and you become accountability buddies, I love that system, then awesome. Let's actually make it happen. I've also got here some links, a virtual 15-minute tea with me. You can also find me on LinkedIn and my website, righttimemarketing.com.au. And I would love to chat with you. And I also, if you are inspired, yes, my podcast, if you want to subscribe, there's a link there. Listen in, it's aimed at health and wellness business owners, because it actually is my main niche, about how to grow their business but maintain their own health wellness at the same time. That work-life balance thing. And that's it. So thank you very much. You got this. Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I know I say that about everyone, but everyone's has honestly been so awesome. Now, I meant to draw our leaderboard, but my event app is not working true in time. So we will get back to that. We will circle back, as they say. Unless it's going to... Oh, it's working. Okay, so the leaderboard for the people that were using the app this week. So in number 1, we have Olivia Broadhead from Lifestyle by Liv, who I don't think is here. But anyway, if Agnes will organise that up the back there. Number 2, Kelly Wiseman. Where are you? You have won 2 passes to an escape room, courtesy of the Oil Hut. Tia Beach. And number 3 was actually Tia, who has organised the vouchers, so you can't win unless you want your own vouchers. But we've got Louise Zeri from Email Solutions and Consulting at number 2. Woo! Anyway, so that before I invite Andrea up, that's a massive thank you from me. Thank you so much for having me. I've had a fabulous time. It's really nice to have such a welcoming audience, especially people that participate and like get up and give a round of applause when I require it. So it's been awesome. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone for making it possible.
Can we just really give her a big round of applause? Wasn't she awesome? You did a great job.